From Politico.com, everything was going Kamala Harris's way. Then came the market sell-off. I love this because you've got two worlds about it in the corporate press. That the economy is rebounding. Take that, Donald Trump. And the others being like, the economy is tanking. Just because the market rebounded a little bit doesn't mean you're going to be doing well. So I have to wonder. I was looking at, say, Moody's Analytics, and boy, were they predicting Joe Biden was going to win. All of these people were like, despite market conditions, Joe Biden's a shoo-in for victory in 2024, and then Biden quit. I want to stress this for everybody listening. He had a debate with Donald Trump that went so poorly, he dropped out. Donald Trump crushed Joe Biden to such an absurd degree that Biden actually quit. Wow. Talk about a great debate performance. My favorite line, of course, was when Donald Trump was like, Joe Biden starts muttering and confused and says, we beat Medicare. And then Trump goes, you did beat Medicare. You beat it to death. Wow. Quick wit. I have to say, however, my real favorite line outside of politics was when Trump nearly fell off the stage hearing that Joe Biden had a 6 handicap. He was like, what? A 6. Dude, we've had a bunch of people on the show. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, I've been playing golf my whole life and I'm like a 20. There's no way Joe Biden's a 6 handicap. It just basically means you're really good. Donald Trump was like flabbergasted. No. And then Biden tried to change it. Maybe an 8. All right, here we go. Politico says, we cannot win if people think we're headed into a recession. One Democratic National Committee member said, let it be said, my friends, that the economy has poured so the economy has favored so miserably, Kamala may not be able to win. Now, what I see here is, even with the bad economy, the strategy of Kamala Harris is offer up no policies, try and win on just cultism. And then the other issue is try and act like you're not currently in government. They keep acting like Trump's the president. It is the weirdest thing. These people are mentally deficient. Let me stress. These people, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and their ilk, are cognitively deficient individuals of ill repute. I keep it academic. That's not what I said on X. I said something a bit more direct, but you get my drift. They're acting like Donald Trump is currently the president. Dude hasn't been in any political office since he left. And they're saying, well, Donald Trump's doing this and he's refusing to do that. Huh? You're the vice president, Kamala. Waltz, you're the governor of Minnesota. What are you talking about? These problems are your fault. You got people posting Summer of Love riots in Minnesota. And these Democrats are like, who was the president at the time? What? You know, man, how do you vote when people are so stupid or evil? You want Donald Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act? Okay, fine. Screenshot those tweets, ladies and gentlemen. When Donald Trump wins, we're going to say, well, you guys wanted the Insurrection Act. That's what the president can do when these riots are happening. Otherwise, the governor calls in the National Guard. That's Waltz. Politico says Democrats aren't ready for the Kamala Harris honeymoon to end. Monday's stock market plunge is reminding them that it can't last forever. The global stock market tumbles represented a dramatic reversal from the cooling inflation and steady growth economists had been heralding in recent weeks. It's also an unnerving reminder to Democrats on the eve of Harris's vice presidential pick that public gloominess over the economy could hurt the campaign. William Owen, a Democratic National Committee member from Tennessee, called the market slide a tremendously huge problem for the Harris campaign. He sent campaign and party officials an email on Friday calling for President Joe Biden or Harris to urge the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates, then followed up again after seeing the futures on Monday. Yeah, he's like, the economy is collapsing. You're going to lose, please. This action is equally as important as who the VP is, Owen wrote. We cannot win if people think we're headed into a recession. Well, that is what people think. So good luck. Hey, here we go. What do we have here? Why did the stock market crash? And what's next? From New York Magazine, Intelligencer. So the stock market crashed. What's next? That's a headline for you, Biden and Kamala. Another reason why they're pulling Kamala out, pulling her out as the nominee. I mean, like pulling her out of the bag. What I meant to say is why they pulled Joe Biden out. It's gone so miserably, and it will, that it's going to reflect negatively on him. I've long wondered if Joe Biden was a pariah candidate. The intention being they needed to reverse Trump policies for their international garbage agenda. Trump was helping bolster America, but they want to hurt America. They do. They want to normalize economics between America and the European bloc so that you can more easily get about a one world currency. Or, something like Bitcoin could be normalized. Donald Trump making America stronger just is bad for their expansionism. So they knew they're going to have to hurt America, which would be bad for their plans. You put in Joe Biden, he screws everything up, you blame Joe Biden, you swap somebody else in. I think that may have been the play, that Joe Biden was always going to be a one-term candidate. Remember, when Biden was campaigning in 2020, he actually, initially they were reporting he'd be a one-term candidate to stop Trump, but then said, no, I'll do 2 terms. Yeah. Well, my friends, major U.S. discount retailer to close as many as 315 stores as retail apocalypse gathers pace. Big Lots is closing 315 stores across multiple states, suffering from financial woes. You want to argue to me that the economy is going to improve and is doing well? Sorry. Nice try. And if you don't have the economy, I don't know how you win. Let's jump over to civics. Or is it Civ IQs? I think it's civics. How would you rate the condition of the national economy right now? In general, across the board, 37% say it's very bad. 27% say fairly good. 23% say fairly bad. So we're looking at 60% in general, the American people think the economy is in some way bad. And only 37 think it's in any way good. But that doesn't matter because I don't care what Democrats think. Look at this. Democrats think the economy is good because they're a cult. If you ask independents and Republicans, they're like, economy's not good. Now, why does that matter? My friends, the market literally crashed. And what does this mean? Well, Democrats are going to go, why do I care about billionaires and their stocks? These are 401ks. It's called retirements. It's called older people voting because their 401ks are getting crushed in this economy. It also means that when companies are doing bad and there's less money to spend, then everyone else's wages get depressed and inflation goes up, blah, blah, blah. You get it. You can't spend billions on foreign war and then also have a stagnant or decimated market and think you're going to make money and live more comfortably. But I tell you this, of Democrats, 71% think the economy is good. By what metric? Inflation is up. Unemployment is up. Inflation is outpacing wages. The market just took a hit and there's no change because it's a cult. These people are in a cult. That's the only explanation. They're being told the economy is good and they're going, okay. That's why Kamala and Tim Walz don't have any policy positions. Hey, let's go back to the real world. Let's ask Republicans. Now, Republicans, I don't know, maybe they don't like Kamala Harris. 65% say very bad. 28% say fairly bad. Heavens to Betsy. We're looking at 93% of Republicans are like the economy is in the gutter. Only 6% think it is in any way good. All right, well, Republicans going to vote Republican, right? So I'm not concerned about Democrats or Republicans. I want to know what the independent voter thinks. This one's important because the independent voter is who is going to help the other party win. What say you, independent voters? Duh. They think the economy is bad. I didn't even need to wait for it to load to tell you that independent voters think it's bad. 42% very bad, 26% fairly bad. Okay. So how about that? 68% of independent voters, 2-1, think the economy is bad. If 2-1 independents vote Republican because the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, has flubbed everything up, congratulations, Donald Trump wins. Now, we don't know for sure because there will be a shadow campaign. We'll see how that all plays out. But I'm curious, of all voters, let's try 18 to 34. Gen Z, 67% think the economy is bad. When people think the economy is bad, they vote the other guy. But I wonder if Gen Z is just the generation of cult or they're going to be the voters that it's actually 18 to 34 is Gen Z and millennial. So we will see. 35 to 49, surprise, surprise, still overwhelmingly think the economy is bad. With 38 saying very bad, 24 saying fairly bad. To be fair, 35% think it's good, but it's still 2-1. 50 to 64 think the economy is bad. That's right, 60%. 60% to 38, which does change things. 65 plus actually gets pretty split. Still leaning towards being bad. We can take a look at net good and see it's -6 net good, meaning they don't like it. They don't like it, but it's only by a thin margin. The interesting thing about this is the one demographic that truly believes the economy is really great, I think, is black voters, with 45% saying fairly good. When you look at white voters, they say it's bad. Hispanic and Latino still think it's mostly bad, and other still think it's mostly bad. So I want to do this. When it comes to economic factors to determine who the president may be, because this matters, it's the economy, stupid, right? Well, why don't we just take a look at what Moody's thinks? Moody's Analytics election prediction shows Biden winning in a nail biter. Oh. Okay, guys. Good prediction. Now, to be fair, it was back in February. Fine. Well, here we go. Do you think the nation's economy is getting better or worse? Across the board, you have 51% say getting worse, 28% say getting better, and 18% staying about the same. Democrats, of course, think it's getting better because it's a cult. The economy is good and getting better. Did you just watch the market crash? Did you see the jobs numbers? No, they don't watch the news. This is proof. Let this be your proof, ladies and gentlemen. The reports came out. The job numbers are down. Horrifying. Unemployment is up. Inflation is up. And Democrats are like, things are getting better. Why would they think that? Because it's a cult. They don't pay attention to the news, and they just believe whatever they're told to believe. Republicans, of course, know the economy is getting worse. There's no question. The market just crashed. That's like, duh. That's the definition of getting worse. And independent voters also largely believe the economy is getting worse. But independent voters lean either Democrat or Republican. When we see actually that it's about 2-1, that it's actually a little bit more than 2-1, getting worse as opposed to getting better, then unsurprising. I think this is indicative of, in a fair election, a Donald Trump victory. And then, of course, we've got inflation. Now, they won't give us the full data on inflation without spending money. And this is the free results they give you. 66% of this country are very concerned about inflation. So I ask you all, my friends, what's your predictions based on the economy right now? In February, Newsweek said 2024 election map predicts Joe Biden will beat Trump by an even bigger margin. I love it. Because I highlighted in the first segment at the beginning of the show how in September of 2023, I said Biden will drop out. I didn't say he might drop out. And I was thinking about, really? Because I try to keep it news focused in the headlines and not so much opinion focused, usually. So, I don't know. How did I do today? I said far left, Cori Bush lost. Ilhan Omar is next. Tim Walz accused of stolen valor. Far left, perhaps more of an opinion statement. But all of those things in the headline are what happened. She lost. Ilhan Omar is next. And Walz is accused of stolen valor. Usually when I'm crafting headlines for any video or show, I try to make it a straight up like, this thing did happen, right? That day, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, no way, man. Joe Biden's going to drop out. It's impossible. And I thought, I'm going to do an opinion headline. I'm so sure of myself on this one. I said, Biden will drop out. The news story was that Nancy Pelosi said he might. So I could have titled, Pelosi says Biden may drop out of race. But I just in my brain, I was like, he's dropping out. And so I decided we're going full opinion on this one. Biden's going to drop out. That's my opinion. That's what I think is going to happen. Nailed it. I was a little unsure of myself as time went on because by March he hadn't. And I was like, it's probably too late. But we can see how they mustered this one up. Setting up their phone call for Kamala Harris. Yeah. Well, you get it. Predicting Joe Biden was going to win. They're going to keep saying it. But I got to tell you, money talks and BS walks, okay? If they can win in an economy like this, then I'm going to just outright say it's rigged. That's it. Now, we can talk about shadow campaigns, rigging the election, whatever you want to talk about. I'm just saying how an incumbent administration, I know she's not the incumbent, but it's an incumbent administration, how they could win with an economy this bad, I cannot see it. I just can't. So we'll wrap this one up there, my friends. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with all of your friends. Follow me on X at Timcast. And follow the Boonies HQ on Instagram. I'm shouting them out. Become a member at timcast.com. YouTube has been censoring us, as many of you noticed. So support our work by becoming a member to make sure that we continue to exist in the event of full-on censorship. Wrap it up there. Next segment will be coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. The next segment will be Democrats turn to influencers to get their message out. Twitch streamer Kai Cenat says he's rejected multiple requests from Kamala Harris. I don't give an F. They really trying. This dude went off. Shout out. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next segment.